The telephone rings and Owen answers and says, "No, Don, I don't want to eat. I'm not hungry. I just had breakfast." It finalizes the phone call saying, "No, I'm not hungry," and then hangs up. He knocks and hears a voice saying, "Come in, bring the light." Props tries the handle, but the door is locked from the inside. He knocks again, and the voice says, "Turn on the lights." Unable to open the door, Props yells through the door to put the phone back on the hook and returns downstairs.
Well, I don't know. You're making me pretty scared now. I'm the only one that has.
What are you
So.
scary? How is that scary?
Well, you just turn on the lights.
Oh, that's freaky.
So then bellboy Randolph is dispatched again back up to room 1046 with again a master key. And then upon opening the door, he discovers a
Peckish for Answers. Mysteries and conspiracies.
Welcome back, guys, to Peckish For Answers, episode 18. I can't believe it. We made it this far already. Jeez. I am joined by my lovely two co-hosts, Oscar.
Hello.
And Nick.
Hello.
Why did you salute? That is weird. Anyway, we are doing the word game today. We've all been given our word by our friend. Those words will magically appear on the screen in 3, 2, 1. And now they're gone. So I'm hosting today and I am doing a little mystery called The Mystery of Room 1046.
Ooh.
So we're going way back, okay? Way back to 1935.
Oh, that's
Okay.
not quite bad. That's fine.
Yeah, I was thinking
I
like.
thought you were going to say like,
Oh,
like
what, 200 years ago?
1935 is like quite
yeah,
a
but
while
you know, it's
ago.
in kind of recorded
So
history. So
We're going back, is what I would say.
All right, fine, but we drank.
Yeah.
Good.
Think drank. Yeah. All right.
Yeah, so we're going back to 1935, and I'll just give you kind of just a context of what's going on. So, in January 1935, a well-dressed young man checked into Kansas City's hotel president. So the hotel is called Hotel President.
Okay.
President Hotel President. And he checked under the name of Roland T. Owen. He carried no luggage. He had no luggage apart from he had a toothbrush on him. No, not toothbrush, sorry, a comb. Yeah, comb, toothbrush, and toothpaste. That was literally all he had on him. So he gave his home address as Los Angeles, California, and then he specifically requests a inside room several floors up away from the street noise. And he was assigned room 1046 on the 10th floor. And also he seemed a bit kind of upset. While he was checking in to this hotel, he was complaining about the neighboring hotels and their prices and how expensive they were. And he complained about that quite a bit, actually, to the check-in host.
He complained about neighbouring hotels.
Yeah, he just checked it. He was just like, "Oh, those hotels are so expensive. You know, what's going on? The rates are ridiculous."
Mm.
So hotel bellboy Randolph props escorts him to his room. Owen unpacks his few toiletries, takes out a hairbrush, and then locks the room, and they leave together. So he just unpacks really quickly, kind of, and then just locks, and they both leave. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So, and at this point, it's the afternoon. Later on in the afternoon, maid Mary Soaptier, they're very strange last names. She enters the room to perform routine cleaning. Okay, so she knocks in. She goes, "Hello." And
Housekeeping.
housekeeping. And he's like, yeah, come on in. And but Owen is inside with the window shades pulled completely down and a single small lamp lit. Mary said afterwards, she said about how he felt. He appeared nervous, uneasy, or fearful. He seemed at like unease. It was like a strange kind of situation. But as Mary cleans, Owen puts on his coat, he leaves the room, and he asks her to leave the door unlocked because he expects a friend to join him shortly. She abides by that. She does her little cleaning, and then she goes and she leaves the room unlocked. Okay. And that's all that happened on Wednesday.
Where is this, by the way?
Kansas.
Oh, Kansas.
Oh, okay.
Kansas.
So just to recap,
Kansas City, Missouri.
So just to he unpacked quickly, then left with the
He left, and then at some point before Mary came to the,
he came back.
He came back.
Okay.
He was just in there alone. With and this is like in the afternoon as well, so it was still light out, and he had everything closed, like things closed, and he just had like a lit lamp, and but as he left before she left, basically.
But he asked him to leave. He asked her to leave the door.
Yeah, he asked her to leave the door open, which she did, because he was expecting a friend to join.
Yeah.
I'll give you some context about the hotel as well. It was one of these hotels where a lot of traveling businessmen would go, and the hotel kind of employees kind of knew not to ask questions about the guests, because apparently a lot of these traveling businessmen would go to that hotel, spend a night, and they would have a lady of the night come and join them, kind of thing. So it was kind of one of those hotels where it was like better not to ask questions. It was very like shush.
Like,
hush,
is this your wife? She looks beautiful.
Yeah. You don't say those things. So it was kind of a bit of a sleazy hotel, but yeah. So that's the first day. I'll go on to kind of the next day. So at 10:30 in the morning the next day, so that's Thursday, maid Mary returns to clean room 1046. Apparently she cleans it every day. Fair enough. She kind of knocked, but no one answered, and there was no thing. So the door was locked. She knocked, no one answered, and so she just used her master key.
What if the guy's sleeping?
Well,
there's no do not disturb sign. She needs to get there done. She needs to do it. So she just used her master key. And he was in there. He was in there sitting in the dark inside at about 10:30, and he wasn't like mad that she was in there at all. She just kind of cleaned. He was like, yeah, go for it, whatever. And then suddenly the telephone rings, and Owen answers and says, "No, Don, I don't want to eat. I'm not hungry. I just had breakfast." And then kind of some bits like back and forth. He's not saying anything, and he finalizes the phone call saying, "No, I'm not hungry," and then hangs up. But then Owen talks to the maid about, again, the other hotel's high room rates, and he was complaining to her about the other hotel's high room rates. And then he leaves the room again while she's cleaning and repeats his instruction to leave the door unlocked, which again she does. And then at 4 p.m. that day, same day, Mary again returns to the room with fresh towels, and she could see that the room was completely dark. There was no light coming out from the room through the crack of the door. She hears two male voices inside. She knocks and goes, "Hi, we've got some clean towels for you." But she heard a deep, unfamiliar voice sternly responded, saying, "We have plenty of towels," telling her to go away. Mary was a bit weirded out by this because she knows there was no fresh towels in that room because she cleaned it earlier, and I think she just forgot to put the towels in or something. So
yeah, but I guess it's obviously that they just don't want her to come in.
Yeah. So she
that on its own isn't necessarily peculiar, but yeah.
So she leaves. But yeah, so she leaves, and that's fine. But then, so later on in the evening, a local woman named Mary Cole reports meeting a young man matching Owen's description while driving. So this is a woman that after the case kind of came around. So this woman, local woman, she said that she basically met Owen while driving. He asked her for a ride and appeared visibly shaken and asked to be dropped off at the hotel. This was later in the evening. And then, so it was about 11 p.m., city taxi driver Robert Lane picks up a man matching Owen's description near downtown Kansas City. The man appears distressed, holding his arm as injured. He asks to be driven to a place where he can get a drink. The taxi driver noticed that he had deep cuts or scratches on the man's arm, and the passenger tells Lane he will kill someone tomorrow for what was done to him. He dropped him off near 13th and Walnut, so not far from the hotel. And then Friday, about 10:30, the hotel president's switchboard operator noticed the telephone indicator light for room 1046 shows the receiver is off the hook. So it's like an old phone.
So they picked it up.
So they picked it up and they hadn't basically hung up. It was still going. And obviously in that time, that costs a lot of money, the hotel a lot of money. It's not like nowadays where it's free. So bellboy ran off. He was sent up to go check up on this and go, what's going on here? You find the door locked with a do not disturb sign hanging on. He knocks and hears a voice saying, "Come in, bring the light." Prost tries the handle, but the door is locked from the inside. He knocks again, and the voice says, "Turn on the lights." Unable to open the door, Prost yells through the door to put the phone back on the hook and returns downstairs. He kind of just like, well, I'm not getting in. They're not going to let me in. I'm not going to barge through, so I'm just going to shout, put the phone on the hook.
So he was saying he came to the room because this person's left the phone off the hook page, and he's like, "Oh, this is costing us loads of money."
Yeah.
And he says, and then someone inside says, "Turn on the light."
Yeah, someone says, "Come in, bring the light." He tries the handle to come in. It's still locked. And then the voice says, "Turn on the lights."
So someone inside is just saying, "Turn on the lights."
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. What?
And then,
well,
I know. That's what's going on. That's what's going on.
That's really freaky, right?
Yes, Rolf.
Well, it's a bit weird, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
It's not going to be... I wouldn't pick a mystery. It's just simply just not, a little bit got something to it.
Oh,
weird.
Well, I don't know. You're making me pretty scared now. I'm the only one in the house.
What are you scary? How is that scary?
Wait, just turn on the lights.
Oh, that's freaky.
Is it like the... hey, who turned off the lights in the Doctor Who episode? That was quite scary.
I don't
know. Oh, yeah, that was quite scary.
In the library, yeah. But anyway, that same day, so that was at 10:30 in the morning. At 1:30, the phone in room 1046 is still remaining off the hook. They've been, the switchboard operator still said, it's called the hotel, it's still off the hook, like, what's going on, boys? So, bellboy Harold this time is sent up, but with a master key. So he unlocks the door and he finds the room pitch black and sees a figure lying face down on the bed, seemingly either intoxicated or asleep. Pike sees the telephone knocked onto the floor next to the nightstand. He sets the phone back up right on the nightstand, leaves the room and locks the door behind him. Half an hour later, the phone is once again off the hook. Elevator operator Charles Blotcher notices a woman coming and going near the 10th floor looking for room 1046. Shortly after, a man joins her. Now he does something he just noticed. So then bellboy Randolph is dispatched again back up to room 1046 with again a master key. And then upon opening the door, he discovers a bloody scene. Owen is on his knees on the floor near the doorway, holding his head in his hands with severe bloodstains on his head and body. Bloody handprints and splatter cover the walls, bed sheets, and bathroom. The bellboy immediately alerts hotel management, who notified the Kansas City Police Department. Police and medical, and then so that was at 2 p.m. By 2:15, police and medical they came quick. responded and arrived at room 1046. They saw that Owen has been tied up around his neck, wrists, and ankles with a heavy cord. He has suffered multiple stab wounds to his chest, a punctured lung, and severe skull fractures from blunt force trauma. All clothes, towels, and toiletries completely vanished from the room. No knife or murder weapon was found. A water glass in the bathroom bears female fingerprints. So, Owen then gets taken to the hospital, and the next day he slips into a coma at the hospital and then dies from his extensive injuries without revealing the identity of his assailant or anything to do with the case. And that is pretty much the mystery of room 1046.
Okay.
Just going to let you diverge, talk amongst yourselves. What do you think's happening here? What do you think's happened to our old boy, Owen? T. Owen.
I think, do you know who Owen was, what he did, or like what his job was, or why was he there?
I think he just said he was on there for business. He didn't really elaborate. Again, this is kind of one of those hotels, like I said, they don't ask a lot of questions.
Yeah, but from more so like finding out about this person, obviously he's got people who know him. He's got, when he was dying.
I've got that information. I'm going to diverge a bit later. You'll find out.
Well, I think, from the sounds of it, he probably shagged someone and then maybe piss him off. They weren't happy because they saw a girl and a bloke in the elevator. So maybe she then, had some like gangy friends or something like that. And then she was like, "Oh, fucking kill this guy. He's an arsehole," or something like that. And they just murked him.
I don't know. It seems a bit extreme. I think it's people are crazy, but I think it's a simple case of, he's involved with some bad people for one reason or another. Maybe he was in debt or something. Maybe this, that, or the other happened. And he was there doing some dodgy dealings. That's why his friend was like one of the dodgy dealing people who's coming to the hotel. And then got on a bit of like the issue with that guy. And then clearly it was, okay, we need to kill this guy for whatever reason. And they sent that woman to go and stab him up. That was that woman that was seen walking.
Oh, you think the woman stabbed him up?
Well, isn't that what you see? The guy went up.
Well, there was a guy and a woman.
Walked in. Oh, right. Well, it could have been the guy then. But a guy went up, went into the room. He was just laying in his bed. He left. Some guy and a woman went up. They came back down. Then the other guy came back up, went into the room, and he was stabbed.
Yeah, okay. I agree. Actually, that does sound fair enough. Because there was another male. Yeah, he said there was a friend coming, and there was another male voice in the room who didn't want to come in, so they might have been doing dodgy business in the room. They didn't want to.
I think it's just a dodgy dealings.
The whole phone thing. Why could he not want? Maybe he kept it off the hook because he didn't want someone or people to call him. So like they couldn't physically contact.
Ooh,
do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Because if they tried to call him, it would be like, "Sorry, your call is."
I don't know,
1935. Like I don't know how it worked.
And then he could be like, "Well, I didn't get the call," which he didn't.
So. Or it may be. I mean, I don't think this was it, but another thought is that it could have been like he wanted to keep the phone off the hook in case someone came in, and then like they would hear it or something. I mean, did they find out who he was on the phone to? Or was that the phone just off the hook? I don't know how.
The phone was just off the hook, I think.
I don't know how that works.
But how's that? And that just charges you, even if you're not calling anyone.
Well, it must be like because it used to work where you call it'd go to the phone centre, and they'd put you through to the right person. So I guess
he was just to the phone centre. The phone centre was just like, when's this guy actually going to decide who wants to call? Who do I want to call?
I think that makes sense.
Do you think it's weird that he just actually accidentally left it off the thing and then just fell asleep?
No, but then he picked it up and put it off again, didn't he? So he clearly wanted it off.
He woke up and was like, let me call it.
But he was alive. Remember, he was alive when Bellboy came in to put the phone back on.
And then he picked it up. Then he picked it up again.
And then next time he came, this is all the same day. He was dead. Well, not dead, but he was, got stabbed.
I wonder why I wonder why maybe the lights were off so they thought he wouldn't be in there. Do you know what I mean? Like the people.
There's also like a theme around this where if every time someone goes in, it's very dark in that room. He kept it very dark, very gloomy.
It could maybe be so people can't see through like the window from another room at what they're doing or something, or maybe there's some packages that they don't want people to see or maybe
Those are good theories. I'm gonna go for a little break here.
Oh,
and
okay.
It's a little bit of a short one. We'll go for a little break there, and then we'll go through, give some more information, and then some final theories and see what you think of those. Yeah.
Okay.
Sound good?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Cool.
All
right. See you after the break. Welcome back. Hope you have refueled and had a nice little snack or drink. So we left off with Ronald T. Owen. He's dead. He's been found stabbed, wounds, all these things. But there was something he was moaning about a lot. He was moaning quite a bit about the hotel prices, and it really, really made me think of my friend Oscar, who's got a lovely little moan for us.
Yeah, I've got a moan. It's not necessarily a moan, personal moan. Well, it is kind of because I don't like it, but
it definitely is.
What do you mean? No, but it's a broad one. It revolves around individualistic thinking and people who think solely about themselves and not the wider group.
Okay.
Such as, well, there's many examples in life, and the world would be a much better place if people thought of the wider, I don't know, impact on wider society, than just themselves. For example, there's maybe 4 cookies in a packet, and then there's 10 people around the table. No, not 4 cookies. There's 15 burritos, and there's 10, and there's 10 people eating the burrito. So everyone takes one, and then there's 5 left. And then just automatically, someone just goes in and takes another one. But then it's like, well, if everyone did that, it's impossible, first of all.
Are you going to say any names, Oscar?
No. I feel like you got some names in your mind. But, it's just selfish, in my opinion. And people
if everybody wanted one as equally as much as you wanted one, then people would be missing out.
Yeah, because I always want one as much as, I love eating. And I want that. I want all of those burritos. But
yeah, we know.
I can't have it that way. So, it's just if they ask everyone, then they say, no, you can have it. That's fine. Another example is, for example, when there was the fuel shortage, like, was it in COVID? I can't remember. It was just after, I think. But when, I think there was a news story. Yeah, there was like a news story that was like, it mentioned that fuel might be harder to get or the price might go up or something. And the only reason why there was a fuel shortage is because people were panic buying fuel. Fuel sales went up by like 500% or something like that.
Yeah, it's like during COVID, where people were
toilet paper,
toilet paper
and things like that. That really pissed me off.
And some people,
like, right, you don't need to buy 20 packets of toilet paper. Like, mate,
no, you don't need that in like a year.
Well,
if you're an individualistic thinker, so I know you're going to say. To be fair, go on. Yeah.
Sorry, what did you say?
No, sorry, you're going to say.
Yeah. I'm not saying that. I'm saying I agree with you, but I'm saying that I think the COVID example is slightly different to the burrito one. The burrito one, instead of being an arsehole and taking a whole second burrito, you can say, "All right, guys, who wants seconds?" And then everybody puts their hands up. You go, "Cool. Why don't we split these in half and everybody gets half a burrito?"
Yeah.
Right. Whereas the COVID situation, although I do also agree that it is ridiculous to, it's selfish to panic buy this stuff, it's slightly different because you're in a situation where, you don't even get to say that. It's like if in the burrito situation, you had a choice of taking the burrito or there being no burritos for you.
Oh, I
Because
understand that.
you're not able to talk to everyone equally.
Yeah,
Like, guys, why don't
I
we all
understand.
just take
I
this one?
understand.
But-
So if you're like, I'm not going to be an arsehole and take any toilet paper, you'll end up with nothing. But
Yeah,
obviously,
that's fine.
you know, you can take a normal
No,
amount. But then, what if you don't know how long it's going to go on for?
I
Then you might
completely-
also be thinking.
No,
So
I-
it's like I think I agree with you on both points. I just think they're different points.
I completely understand that, but that's where thinking as a group is the most important. Is when you can't communicate with everyone, because that's when people panic the most and then will buy just for themselves. I mean, there's a game I remember playing it in economics and AS level. It's I can't remember what it is, but it's a famous game which is like it's kind of like
Prisoner's Dilemma. Is that what you're
maybe
saying?
it's kind of like split or steal. You choose
Yeah.
either way, and you always you win if you choose yourself each time. Like, as in I don't know, whichever version of the game, you either make the most money or whatever. And so, you know, thinking individually as a group will always give you the best outcome, but that outcome is always worse than if the group would all think together. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it just annoys me because people are selfish. Like in the fuel shortage, you know, I won't name names, but some people that I know were like, "Oh, have you filled up with fuel? Have you filled up with fuel?" I think people loved it. They're like, "Oh, where do you go for fuel?" And it's like, "Oh God, like no, I haven't filled up with fuel because I never fill up. I only ever fill up to half anyway." But it's just like I don't know, it just pisses me off.
You only fill up to half.
Why do you only fill up to half?
I never fill up. I don't know. It's just I do so I can kind of track my fuel. I don't know. It's just I've always done it. I always put £20 in, use that, and then
Well, so you end up going. You fill up twice as much as a normal person because you have to go fill up.
yeah, but it's always on the way. It's usually like £20 a week, so I kind of use it as a benchmark. I do £20. See if it lasts me a week. I'm like, okay, that's sad.
Is it because you're saving a very small amount of money by not having as much
No,
money?
it's
in your
not.
car?
It's not that. But I just prefer spending in
He's
increments.
saving like 2p.
Yeah,
every
It-
week.
that's what I
it
said.
helps
You
me
save
track-
like 10p. Yeah,
It helps me track my money if each week I'm spending £20 rather than like £80 every thought, because I might think, oh, you know, shit, I've not got much money. But then it's like, oh no, I do. You know, it helps me.
I understand what you're saying, but like, it doesn't make a difference. Like, you're still going to be spending the same amount of
I
fuel
know,
no
but
matter what.
yeah, but it's like on holiday when you don't pick up a group meal and then on Splitwise you've got loads to pay at the end of the holiday, or you pick up a few and it feels like you're not spending
Yeah, I
as much
know
money
what
because
you
you
mean,
get money.
actually,
You know,
yeah.
it's
Yeah, but why don't you just get over it and just save some time?
It's the way I do it, and it works for me. So that's
Yeah,
fine.
it works for him,
Oh.
so it's fine.
I think that's pretty.
And also another type of individualistic thinking is some drivers, when they're going on the motorway at like 95 miles an hour, and they're like, you know, when they like weave.
Yeah.
in the
Mate,
cars?
that's so dangerous. It's
I know,
like-
but the way they think is like, oh, these guys are so slow. I'm so much better at driving.
Yeah,
It's like
yeah,
going between
yeah,
them.
yeah.
It's like, no,
Well,
you're not.
I-
If anyone was doing what you're doing, like if there's a exact opposite, you just smash into each other. It's
I
just
mean, I don't drive, but like, you know, a little passenger princess. And then when I'm in the car with Georgia, like it infuriates me when I see like we're coming up to a roundabout and then you see like a car just like overtaking us, and it's like, right, you saved maybe 10 seconds of your time.
yeah, and
And
also,
it's
like,
such just like a stupid overtake. It's like on a corner. It's like you could have died, or you saved 10 seconds of your time.
Yeah.
Like, what is the point?
or like
What is the point, mate?
like people honking at you for not overtaking.
Oh
like,
yeah,
cyclists or
it's
something.
so it's
I remember
mate,
I was behind a dad and his 3 kids on this like country road. You couldn't see around the bends.
yeah.
And like, you know, we got to go slow, but the person behind me is honking. It's like, I'm not going to risk my life and these 2 kids and their dad.
Yeah,
Because you want to get to your location a bit quicker. Like, I also want to get there as fast as I can, but I'm not going to kill. Why would I risk my life for that?
Yeah,
It's just
exactly. It's so stupid. Like you might save like
Ah.
2 minutes, 5 minutes at max,
Yeah.
like on your journey. It's like great. Yeah, it's not worth the risk. It's stupid.
Yeah. But anyway, hopefully, if this
Rolf's
goes out to...
definitely the type to do that.
I'm thinking. This whole time, I'm just like, God, wait, hold on just a second.
He's the type to overtake when there's when there's
about?
when there's a roundabout about to come, but he's honking. He's like, oh, these guys go so slow.
Yeah. Yeah, Ralph.
Yeah, I was about to.
probably Ralph honking me. It's probably,
Yeah, it probably was.
I was about to do my moan and just say the exactly opposite thing that you said.
Yeah. Great thinking is my man. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, hopefully this gets how many people are there in the world? Like 7.2 billion. Hopefully 7.2 billion people watch this video, and then
More than that.
Is it? All right,
8 now.
Is there?
8 billion,
Okay.
yeah.
Well, hopefully,
India
all
and
eight-
China, they just keep pumping out babies. And
Well, not China anymore.
well, not
but-
China, but
No, they've got a
there's
cap,
some in
haven't they?
Africa, isn't there?
I
Is it
don't know.
Nigeria?
Yeah, Nigeria.
Yeah. If enough
Indonesia.
people
resonate with what I say, then people
Give us a
start
like.
thinking there's a great.
Give us a
How
give us
much
a like.
better place the world
Give
would
us a
be.
share, guys. Share to your friends. You know.
All right, but yeah, that's that.
But that was a great moon. Actually, really enjoyed that. Thank you, Oscar.
Yeah, I like it when you get passionate.
Yeah, I like it when you get.
It's
Well,
it's kind of sexy.
It can only be passionate. I'm not going to do something I'm not passionate about.
Why?
'Cause that's what I mean.
What? That was weird. All right. You're a weirdo, mate. You're a creep.
Who, Ralph?
Did you just hear what he said?
Yeah, he said he likes it when I'm passionate.
It's-
Or something. Yeah.
No, because it's sexy. He said.
Oh, thanks, mate. Thanks.
It's,
Yeah,
it's
don't worry,
not. No. Oh God. Anyway, back to obviously our main man, Roland T. Owen. So I said about how the police obviously got there. They looked at the crime scene, and they didn't find any murder weapon. They didn't find any clothes, obviously, because he didn't pack anything like that. The only thing they found was of note that they found was 4 small fingerprints on the telephone stand, though they were never identified. They couldn't identify whose fingerprints they were.
But small,
Yeah.
like how women's hands are small.
Yeah. So the
Be a
police,
child.
the police did think it could be a child. The police did think it looked more like a woman's fingerprints. But they couldn't identify. This is 1935. You know, I mean, it's not the
Also,
best.
could it not have
best
just been
detectives.
a little bit of the fingerprint? Do you know what I mean?
It could, yeah, it could be. But they couldn't identify them, so it kind of just went out the window. So with that, they didn't really have much to go on. They didn't know why someone would want to kill this guy.
Well,
So
they had
the
witnesses
detectives
for
did some
people in the
digging
lift.
on old Roland T. Owen, and they found out he didn't exist. There was no record of any such man having lived anywhere in the United States. They implored the public to come forward with any information they had about the mysterious murder victim, because they were like, well, this guy doesn't exist. What's this? This is crazy. But then shortly thereafter, the neighboring hotel that Owen had complained about so much got in contact, claiming that a man matching the description of Owen had stayed at the hotel, but he had checked in under the name Eugene K. Scott. Again, the police looked into who this Eugene K. Scott was, and like Roland T. Owen, this man never existed. There was no record of this man ever existing in the US. Over the next couple months, various people identified the body as a loved one. So they had lots of people different come in, and they identified. Each person was like, I know this guy. But eventually, after like talking to them and stuff, none of the identifications actually stuck. So they kind of went, oh, actually, maybe I got confused, stuff like that. So finally, the case kind of just ran cold, and the detectives decided to bury the body. They were like, well, we don't know what's going on, so we'll just bury him and just kind of put unsolved on it. So then the funeral home that was dealing with his body received a mysterious call not long afterwards from a woman who would not give her name, but did say she would be sending funds for Owen to have a proper burial. They received an envelope a few days later containing money wrapped in newspaper. As they arranged for the small funeral, a bouquet of flowers showed up at the funeral home with a letter that read only, "Love forever, Lucille." And then, a year later, a woman named Ogley Tree.
Ogle tree.
Ogley Tree. O-G-L-E Tree. Ogley Tree.
Maybe it's Ogle.
Ogletree, maybe.
I don't know,
Ogletree.
I don't know.
It's a weird ass name. Ogletree claimed that Owen was her son, who had been missing for years. She claimed his name was Artemis Ogletree, and that he had been staying at another Kansas City area hotel at the time he went missing. Though there wasn't any more evidence to her case than any of the others, police were eventually inclined to believe her, though experts claimed it was only based on a lack of evidence in the rest of the case. And then, to this day, the case remains unsolved, but is opened yearly by the Kansas police as new pieces of evidence unfold. But for the time being, it is still unsolved. And I mean, they open it every year, kind of go, oh, any more information? They might look and go, oh, there's this newspaper. Maybe, I don't know, something that just doesn't lead to anything. So,
Okay.
yeah, it's so the police at the end did think it was this. Her name was Ruby, Ruby's son. She said, yeah. So
Who was Ruby? I thought it was Ogley.
that was her last name. Sorry, Ogletree.
Ogletree. Okay.
Ogletree. So she suspected that it was her son.
Yeah.
But they didn't really kind of follow up on it. They just kind of were like, sure, whatever. They were kind of done with the case at that point. But yeah, so that's pretty much the case. Like it's kind of there's not much to it. That's the whole mystery of it. And I'll quickly go through some leading theories, and we'll do like we've done before, where
shall we come up with our theories?
Oh yeah, you guys come with your theories.
But also, you said they open the case every year. I mean, has anything come up in since 1935?
Not
really. They open it every year and say. Then why do they open it?
Well, I think they open it up every year. It's basically one of those, like, a lot of cold cases are like this, I think. So they'll open it every year, kind of, or from time to time, and kind of let new detectives look at it at a different, like, kind of angle, almost, maybe, or they try and kind of go to the public again and go, is there any evidence out there, and maybe they really look at evidence they have. But the fact that this case has basically no evidence, they don't really actually know who the guy is. I mean, they're basing it off someone saying this is my son, but they don't really know if it is.
Yeah. So when you say they open it,
they're just.
So when you say they open it every year, you don't mean new evidence comes in every year and they open it. You're saying
no. They just.
I think it just means that they review.
They just review evidence,
right.
And maybe hoping something new comes in, but nothing new's really come in.
Yeah.
And if evidence has come in, it's like minor stuff that doesn't really lead to anything. So, but yeah, I'll do. Yeah, I like yours. Yeah, we'll do your theories, and then I'll do the. I think there's 4 main theories.
Okay. Yeah, well, I kind of agree with Rolf. I think he had some sort of job, or either he had a job where he was dealing with dodgy people, or he just found himself in that kind of circle. But because with the whole, like him complaining to everyone about the other hotels' prices, I think that was, I mean, it's quite bait, but that was him trying to almost give the hotel staff a reason to believe that he was never at those hotels, like to hide his trail. So it'd be like, no, he couldn't have stayed there because he was complaining how much the prices were. So, the fact he said it's a bit weird thing to keep bringing up. Do you know what I mean? And then also that's kind of backed up by him having different aliases at the different hotels, which means that he must not. I guess that either means someone's trying to track him down, or he just didn't want a trail for him, maybe because he's doing dodgy business. And also, how so he died? Did he have stab wounds or something? Because he wasn't dismembered or anything like that. He was just
he had
tied to the bed or something.
multiple stab wounds, and it looked like he'd been tied on his wrists and his neck.
Okay, so he got stabbed.
So he'd been tied by his neck and his wrist, and he got stabbed multiple times. And he was still alive. Remember, he was still alive.
Yeah, that's what's
by the time that they found him.
It's not like they could just slit his neck or something and would just killed him.
I'll give you some. Like, I didn't tell you this, but a lot of the initial police thought that it looked like he had been basically tortured for a little bit.
Oh, so maybe they're trying to get info out of him.
Yeah,
interesting.
That is interesting. Yeah, it's just I just think he's just caught up in some sort of dodgy business. I don't know what dodgy business it could be, but unless he's like a spy, but
I think 1930s, you know, a mob,
Yeah.
is quite big in major cities in America. This is just
yeah.
after Prohibition. 1920s was Prohibition time, I think. 1929 was the financial crash, wasn't it, Rolf? Was it 1929?
Yeah, well, I think so.
Yeah, 1930s is quite a weird time for America. The economy's not doing great. It's kind of bouncing back a little bit. People going into crime. But yeah, no, I like that theory. It's a good one. I like it.
Yeah, it's basically what Ralph said, but yeah, I think that's the most
Yeah.
likely.
I think.
But you said it
I'll-
better. You said it better, Oscar.
Oh, thank you. Ralph?
Okay.
Now, Rolf's theory.
Well, so basically what Oscar said, but I'm just going to add one or two things. No, basically similar to what I said before. But I disagree with Oscar on what he said on the saying about why the hotels are expensive. It's like he's just saying the hotels are expensive in other areas. He's just complaining. He's had to pay for other hotels, or maybe he hasn't. I don't know. And he's just saying they're expensive. I don't think it's got anything to do with anything. He's just a man just saying that these other hotels are expensive. It's pissed him off. I think that's just it. I don't think it's got anything to do with anything.
No, I do.
I think it's I think that's irrelevant. But I think it's got to be. I think it's something to the fact that he had to change his name. I mean, that's pretty. He's obviously involved in something that he doesn't want people to know about. Doesn't want the law to know about. Nothing that can trace it back to him. The fact that I think it's interesting that nobody knew where he was and stuff like that. Like he didn't have any. He only ages later had. It was supposedly his mother sorting out the funeral. And why didn't she want to be like I don't know, like all like it's pretty weird. So maybe he got involved in all that.
Well, no, it wasn't. It wasn't his mother who sorted out the funeral. It was a random woman called Lucille. His mother was called Ruby. Well, his bespoke this. Was called Ruby. So this was a different woman.
Well, maybe Lucille was maybe a lover from a time.
Well, it did say like love Lucille, like love always, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
Interesting.
Well, everyone else could be just oblivious to the fact that this man's just died, and like nobody knows anything. Like, you know what I mean?
It's a very crazy case.
Because even if like let's say someone like you got into organized crime years down the line, and then you died, and I saw your face in the pictures, I'd be like in the paper, I'd be like, oh my god, this guy's. It's weird. It's like maybe he's. I mean, where was the mother from? If this was in Kansas, because if the mother was from like a very far away in America, it can't make sense. But if it was also in Kansas, then how did nobody in the area know about it?
I don't know where she was from, actually. That is a good point. Oh, cool. Where was she?
It's kind of Isdale woman-ish, but it makes less sense.
It is.
Yeah, it is a bit like the Isdale woman.
She was from looked like she was from Alabama. She one of these finally that she with a friend. Showed an issue.
I guess the same thing happened with the Somerton man, in that nobody knew who he was, and he wasn't from that far away. So,
yeah. I think if you want to kind of be
all in all,
the ways.
I guess it's someone who didn't have many friends, got into organized crime, was very secluded, I can imagine, and then just got. That's just what happens sometimes, You just get whacked, don't you?
Or maybe she was from California. She wasn't from. I don't think she was from Kansas, basically.
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean that would make more sense.
All right, what the
So you kind of hit the nail on the coffin and the first one. The biggest theory is that it was a mob / organized crime, and he had kind of fallen into organized crime figures in Kansas City, and he was tortured over unpaid debts, double crossing, and illicit dealings with the mob. Kind of, like I said, Kansas City at this time apparently was a major mob hub during the 1930s. It's called the Pendergast era. Don't know what that really means, but I think it's just a big. The mob was very big in the city at that time.
Mhm.
The kind of the stab wounds and like how he's tied up matches other cases of people being tortured by the mob as well. And apparently also an anonymous, I forgot to call it his, but an anonymous caller paid for this funeral. So it's an anonymous person paid for his funeral, which is a bit weird. But also then someone claimed that Owen didn't play fair. They they kind of wrote in, I think, or something, and they said Owen didn't play fair. The only thing is, the weird thing is that they left him alive. And
that did
long enough
surprise me.
to potentially speak to the police, which is kind of goes against that kind of theory, because other like cases you can clearly see they were being tortured, but they always kind of finish the job, so they can't like tell the police. Like, so
I think there's
and if it was,
like possibility in that like maybe they stabbed him all those times that they like naively thought like this man's gonna die, like this man's basically dead, he's dying in 5 seconds.
I mean, stuff like that's happened before with
and if we are to believe the mother, and it was Artemis Ogletree, he had no direct financial records tying him to high stakes mob activity, but that could have been hidden, kind of thing. And he had no prior criminal record at the time, so
could have just dodged.
But it could have been, exactly. The second one is that he was involved in a secret love triangle or affair with a married woman called Louise, whose husband then caught them and exacted revenge on him. So obviously the 13 American, not Louise, sorry, what was the name?
Lucinda or something. No,
Lucille. Lucille, sorry. So obviously there was roses and like flowers sent, and there was that letter that said "Love forever, Lucille," at his funeral, and she paid for this as well. And there was female fingerprints were discovered at the glass. Well, they thought it was female. They didn't actually know, but they thought it was. And it kind of also explains his secrecy and his refusal to kind of name anyone as a protector. Because when he was at the hospital, they asked him lots of times who killed him, who's done this to you. And he wouldn't say anything, which is very strange. But obviously, the people say that this could be easily a fake persona created by the killer to confuse the police, almost, maybe. There's no actual concrete evidence of a Lucille ever existing, apart from the letter. I mean, that could be anyone. And also how he was like stabbed multiple times seems very excessive, compared to just, being sleeping with someone's wife. But you never know.
Yeah,
people are crazy.
People get pretty angry about that.
People do.
But the tied up, like the torture stuff, wouldn't really make as much sense, I think.
The thing is, the thing you say about like, oh, it's weird how he didn't tell the police who did it. I don't think that's weird, like at all, really. Like, if you're dying, you don't actually gain, unless you want revenge. You don't gain anything from telling the police.
True. Maybe, and that's what they're saying though. But they're saying that he's trying to protect Lucille by not.
Well, that's the thing. If someone's stabbed you and you're about to die, you don't really have any reason to tell the police who killed you.
No, that's true. That's true.
Obviously, like you should, because this guy's out there. But if there's a chance that, yeah, like you said, so it could harm someone, then the police finding out it could harm someone, then probably you don't want to tell them.
Also, remember that I think it was the elevator guy. He saw people on that day. He saw a man and a woman.
Yeah.
Roaming around near 1046, that corridor. So it could be Lucille and his husband leaving the crime
It would
scene.
be crazy. Like, I just think it'd be pretty wild that this Lucille person would then send in a bouquet of flowers saying with her name attached to it. Because if her husband finds out about that, he'd probably be kind of annoyed, considering he's willing to stab someone to death.
True, but maybe, love does, people do crazy things for love.
Yeah.
People do crazy
Yeah,
things.
but that's
Maybe he
vague.
died by that point, so.
Well, maybe that. Maybe she killed him. Maybe she's the killer.
Yeah.
All right.
But he's
This
like some
one-
kinky sex thing.
Yeah. Maybe.
This one is, I mean, kind of, it could be. So this one is a coercive homosexual secret encounter and then blackmail. So if you remember rightly, there was accounts of I think it was the cleaning lady. She came and said, "Do you want any clean towels?" And there was another male voice who said he refused the towels. He didn't want the towels. So the theory is that he went to Kansas City to have a homosexual relationship in an era where it was illegal and heavily stigmatized. Like, if you got caught, you could actually face prison time. And a lover turned violent or either blackmailed him about having a gay relationship. And then people say this explains why he was so secret with the fake names, requesting an isolated interior room, keeping the lights off all the time. Kind of also, again, why he didn't, but you kind of like, why he didn't reveal the attacker. You've kind of gone over that already. And also, yeah, like I said, the male visitor staying in his room with that voice that the cleaner has come to.
Nah, I'm not a big fan of that one, though. I mean, what's the woman in the elevator? And also, why would his, Ogletree, whatever, why would she not really know, what he's doing? Like, if he just had a normal job, or, I don't think, yeah.
I mean, it's a bit of a far-fetched one.
Lucille,
Yeah, exactly. Like, that's what they say. Like, it doesn't really explain.
So man's
doesn't
name.
explain the female fingerprints that they think that was there. It doesn't explain who Lucille is. It's also just very circumstantial. Like, it's kind of just based on the room conditions and the social context of the 1930s, really. Yeah. So it's a bit of a rubbish one, but this one's awful. I don't think I want to go through this one. This one's even worse.
You don't have to.
It's about him being a pro wrestler and the underground fighting feud.
Could be.
They said that apparently he had cauliflower ear and a temple scar. He was crossed a promoter or refused to throw a match, and then they killed him. I mean,
Nacho Libre.
It just seems very far fetched.
It's possible.
It's very weird. It is possible, maybe.
It's possible.
I mean, apparently he was quite muscular, so. But doesn't, again, really explain who Lucille is, doesn't explain why he has to be secret. And his name's, like, if he's just a pro wrestler, like, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Maybe I don't know.
Yeah, it could be a mix between, I think the most
And if he was a pro wrestler, like, surely even if he's underground, like, surely someone would recognize him.
Someone would know. Unless he's got a mask. Unless he's got a mask on all the time. Yeah.
Like, I don't think they were masking up in 1930s. For
yeah, they'd
wrestling.
be masking up.
No, they weren't like Rey Mysterio.
Yeah,
that's Mexico.
Yeah. I don't know. It could be other stuff.
That's
Anyway.
in Mexico.
But I most likely is it could be like a
Don't worry,
combo
Tom.
of the first two. It could be he's
Yeah.
involved in gang stuff and he has this secret lover. Maybe that's why
I agree.
yeah.
Yeah, I
I
think he was a
personally-
gay mobster wrestler, to be honest. See how you say
Gay mobster wrestler.
It's possible.
I think it was a mix of the first two. I think he had a secret lover who.
That makes sense.
I think it's kind of
You know.
connected. It's like
Yeah,
he had a secret
yeah.
lover and the husband.
Maybe
is
it
a
was like
mobster.
Romeo. Yeah, maybe it was like Romeo and Juliet. He's falling in love with someone from the opposite gang.
Yeah, maybe.
And then
it's all Shakespeare. Shakespeare real life.
yeah.
So, yeah.
That's what I think. Yeah. That was interesting. That's interesting.
That is the case of Mystery of Room 1046. Hope you
Okay.
enjoyed. Before we go, did we get our words in, guys?
Well, yeah, we
Well-
need to guess them first.
Oh, we need to guess first. Sorry, always forget how it is. To be honest, I don't know what your words are. I was concentrating too much on.
I always do this.
I find it really
when it
hard.
gets like the last little
Yeah.
bits, I'm like, I should start paying attention.
I had to message Will again
Oh,
what my word was because I
Oh.
forgot. He just told me in Discord. So I had to.
Uh,
Right, well, I'll take a guess
screw.
on yours. I think your word, Reese, I don't think it was this, but I've got nothing else. Coffin.
No.
Right. Who
Oh.
said? Reese, did you say Rey Mysterio?
Yeah.
It would be very incredible if you link that up. But
That'd be incredible. Wouldn't it?
no, I'll go with. I've got absolutely no idea.
Did you say yours, Oscar?
Yeah, I said mine. Yeah,
See, I didn't. I didn't.
I got no idea. To be honest,
I didn't say
mine.
mine. So
Did you say yours?
yours? I
didn't say mine. I was too focused on
Nick,
giving
did
you
you
guys
say?
information.
Did you say yours? Well,
Yeah, I did say mine. Yeah. When I
I've
said
got
it, I
no
thought it
idea.
might be a bit too obvious.
I should have got it then. I probably should have got it.
Did you say
There
like?
was a time when I said it, I was like, "Ooh, that was all right." I was like, "That's probably all right."
Yeah,
And you
I
guys
know
didn't react.
Nick. He always makes up like it. He fluffs it out. He really
did
fluffs it
say
out.
something that I was like, that's a bit weird. But I didn't really think about it. Oh,
I
forgot,
can't.
though. What is it, Nick?
Mine was oblivious.
Oh,
Oblivious.
that's quite an
not
easy one to get.
Bad, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's when I was like trying to figure out how to put it in. I was like, I need to try and say something. I can't fit it in because I was like, how is everyone just so oblivious to this? Like that whole spiel.
Oh, you
I'd made
did
up.
say that. Yeah.
I don't remember.
Yeah,
But that
basically-
worked really well. That
I
worked
basically
really
went on
well
that tangent purely to fit that word in.
because they were
Yeah,
very
that's what you
oblivious
always
to what was
do.
happening. That
Yeah,
was
in
really
the
good.
last bit, I was-
So I was like, oh,
Ah,
that's
well
actually
done,
really
well
good.
done, Rob. That was really good.
Yeah,
Oscar,
mine. Well, do you want to guess or should I just say? it?
I've
Well,
no
I've
idea.
got no idea.
Mine was dismembered. I said dismembered.
Oh,
Did you
that's
say
such
that?
a. That's
Yeah.
yeah, he did. Yeah, he said so. He wasn't.
You guys
dismembered.
had quite nice ones. I had amnesia.
Oh,
When am I going to fit amnesia into this?
you could.
There's no way am I fitting that
You
in.
could.
Like,
I think Oscar, you did a really good.
I could.
You did a
I
brilliant
could.
job to fit dismembered in. Because I think there was only one, like the place
Yeah,
you
you
said
did,
dismembered was
actually.
the only place I could really think that you could ever say dismembered. Because when you were like, he
Yeah,
wasn't
I was
this, like-
thinking like, oh, how do I do it?
I remember when you said,
Yeah, I wasn't
so
sure
he
if it was weird to
he
say
wasn't
like,
like
he
dismembered
wasn't
or anything. I
dismembered.
remember thinking when you said that, I was like, oh yeah, Reese has already specified that he was stabbed. Like, I was thinking like,
yeah, I know.
That's
That's why. Yeah,
okay,
I
guess
couldn't
he's
think of
just,
any
like,
other
you know,
way to get it in.
Yeah,
so.
that was really good. That was really good. Yeah, that's a hard one to get in. You must have been like, shit.
That was really good.
Yeah.
Amnesia. You
Alright.
could
Right,
have
well,
picked it somewhere. You could have said that something
thing
like.
is, I could
or maybe
have,
there
I
might be,
could
like,
have,
amnesia.
I could
you
have, but then I
remember.
worry about when I'm hosting it. I worry about like
Mhm.
getting all this information, and then I was like thinking, oh, I could get this in, but then I was like, well,
Yeah, time goes by.
I also like, well, and I go, oh, and also you guys had amnesia, but I was like, that might like screw you guys with your theories, kind of thing. I don't want to do that.
Yeah, you
know?
could
I
just
don't want to
lie.
lie.
Yeah.
I want
Yeah.
the truth.
It is hard.
It's
Yeah.
hard. Right. Well,
Okay.
thank you guys for watching, listening. I hope you enjoyed that as much as I did. But yeah, Thanks,
All right.
guys.
Yeah.
I hope you have
Cheers.
a good time. Bye.
All right.
See
Bye.
you next week. Well, next 2 weeks.